Welcome back. In this next dark story, we will be talking about Chaonei number 81, the Beijing's house that refuses to die. We will be exploring the dark history and chilling mysterious. Close your eyes, relax and listen. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. In the heart of Beijing, behind the noise of traffic and the living city, stands Chaonei number 81, a French-styled mansion wrapped in rot. Rumor and dread records around its origin are disputed, but reports describe it as an early 20th century historic structure later known as Chaonei Church, with 2 3-story buildings that sat unused for years, cracked open by weather, broken windows, and age. But to those who whisper about it after dark, Chaonei number 81 is not simply abandoned. It is occupied, not by people, not anymore. They say the house breathes cold air from its doorways like a corpse exhaling. And when the street grows quiet, the windows look less like empty glass and more like black eyes waiting for someone foolish enough to stare back. The most infamous legend tells of a Kuomintang officer who fled Beijing and abandoned his wife inside the mansion. Broken by betrayal, swallowed by loneliness, she is said to have hanged herself within the house, and afterward, people claimed her screams could still be heard in the corridors at night. Imagine that sound. Not a clean scream, not human anymore, but a long, wet cry dragging itself down the staircase, scraping the walls, rising from a room where no one is standing. Visitors who dared to sneak inside spoke of an unnatural chill, a cold that did not belong to Beijing's summer heat, a cold that gathered around the doorway like something invisible pressing its face against the air. Some reports even describe people feeling a temperature difference of several degrees near the property, feeding the belief that something inside was not resting. And then came the deeper stories. The dark, creepy ones people tell in lower voices. One legend says a British priest connected to the building vanished before it was completed. Another claims workers once broke through into the underground spaces near Chaonei number 81 and were never seen again. Whether folklore or fear, those stories gave the mansion a second body beneath the first. Tunnels, sealed rooms, black basements, a hidden underworld below the floorboards. In horror, a house becomes demonic when it stops being a shelter and becomes a mouth. Chaonei number 81 became that mouth. People imagined the basement swallowing footsteps, the walls learning names, the darkness keeping anything that crossed too far inside. During the Cultural Revolution era, one recurring haunted house claim says red gods entered the property and left soon after, frightened by what they experienced inside. The detail made the legend worse because it suggested the mansion did not fear authority, politics, uniforms, or men who came in groups. The house waited until they were inside, until the doors were behind them, until the old wood creaked overhead like someone shifting weight from a rope. Then came the cold. Then came the sound of a woman crying from an upper room. Then came the feeling reported by those drawn to the site that the building was watching from behind its own decay. At night, the mansion did not look empty. It looked patient. The demonic terror of Chaonei No. 81 is not only in the ghost of the abandoned woman. It is in the way the legend multiplies. A suicidal wife, a vanished priest, missing workers, sudden temperature drops, screams in the hall, a doorway colder than the world outside. Each story becomes another nail in the walls, another shadow in the stairwell, another reason why locals and ghost story seekers treated the mansion as more than a ruin. Even official voices denied the haunting, and the building's owner publicly said it was not haunted at all. But denial does not kill a legend. Sometimes denial feeds it, because the more people insisted nothing was there, the more the house seemed to answer in silence. So the warning remains: do not think of Chaonei No. 81 as just an old Beijing mansion. Think of it as a place where grief became architecture, where betrayal hung in the rafters, where cold air crawled out of sealed rooms, where the dead woman's cry, if the stories are believed, did not fade with time. It learned to wait for thunder, for footsteps, for someone alone enough to hear it. And if you ever stand outside that doorway and feel the air drop suddenly around your skin, do not look up at the windows. Do not whisper her name. Because the worst thing about Chaonei No. 81 is not that people say a ghost lives there. It is that the house may have learned how to keep the living. Stay tuned.
Thank you for your support. And thank you for tuning into the darkest horror stories of your life. Some of the stories are based on true events or experiences. Please do us a favor. If you could hit like, share this video, and subscribe to our channel. Never listen alone, and stay tuned for a new horrors and stories.